Welcome to Talking Masters Footy with Sue and Flea.
Two women talking all things AFL Masters, the stories, the people, and the love of footy that doesn't stop at 35.
And this week, we're focusing on some of the most important people in any football club.
Who can guess who they might be? Well, I'm going to tell you so you don't have to guess. They are the Volunteers.
Absolutely. National Volunteers Week was in May, so just a week or so ago.
Yep. So it actually felt like the perfect time to celebrate these people who keep Masters footy running.
People behind the scenes.
Yeah, often doing the jobs nobody sees.
So let's talk
Masters
Masters
footy.
Footy. Close.
First, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are recording today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay our respects to elders past and present. We recognise their ongoing connection to land, community and culture and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening today.
So, volunteers. Every club has them. The people who just quietly get things done.
Yeah, team managers, committee members, scorers, goal umpires, people in the canteen, and last but not least, the coaches.
Yep, people organising uniforms, getting the jumpers ready, making sure we've got the grounds to play on, registrations, collecting fees.
And somehow still making it to the ground.
We're actually reading some Victorian research this week.
Yep. Well, and that showed that more than 89% of the community sport workforce in Victoria is made up of volunteers, which is probably a stat not surprising to most of us.
Yep, absolutely. And definitely isn't surprising when you look around at local footy clubs.
Yeah.
And at the same time, clubs are also saying that it's getting harder to find people to volunteer.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a thing called, volunteering, what's the term? Where you just get a bit burnt out.
Yeah, burnout.
Particularly, that. Particularly if you've got kids and you volunteer at their school and their after-school football teams, etc.
Yeah, it often tends to be the same people that step up and volunteer. They see something needs to be done, and instead of waiting for somebody else to do it, they just go, oh, yeah, I'll do it.
You're talking about the Eastern Warriors?
I think it's the same at all clubs, really. Yeah, most of them rely just on a small group of people to get everything done.
Yeah. So no community sport really does. So no, sorry, in answer to Sue's previous question, when you're looking around at local clubs, community sport really does run on volunteers.
It does. And why are they important, do you think, Flea?
What?
Why are volunteers important in a club?
Well,
what would happen if we had none?
Yeah, that's right. So clubs are only funded on, playing fees, and what, all respective clubs' playing fees incorporate. Often we do run bars and canteens, but having said that, you need people to operate all these things. You need people to be running the canteens, running the bar, and that stocking the bar, stocking the canteens, cleaning of club rooms, organising grounds on game day and training. So if you take all of those people out that are doing those jobs, and of course, your committee, which is basically a group of volunteers, if you take them all out, what are you left with?
Nothing.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, we wouldn't be out there playing footy if we didn't have people who were willing to step up and get things organised.
Yeah.
I think the volunteers also help build the culture and the community at your club as well.
Yeah.
If you've got a group of volunteers that are inclusive and trying to drag other people in to sort of do little bits and pieces, it kind of builds up your volunteer base as well.
Yeah. So when you're new to a club, which, well, you and I both were, new to Masters Footy back in 2018, I mean, one of the first things I did, well, I think Sue roped me into it,
Did I?
volunteering, to help organise the presentation dinner. Yeah. So you were probably on a committee at that point?
Yeah, that first year I got seconded onto the committee as an extra member so that we had some female
Yes.
representation.
Yeah. And I think someone said, "Oh, who would be good to be helping put the presentation dinner together?" And somehow my name came to Sue's mind. So, yeah, that was my first volunteering hat, which was organising our year-end presentation dinner. And can I say it's the best presentation dinner the club has ever had, without. It was massive.
Absolutely.
It was massive. We had a DJ. I mean, it was huge. So, but what I mean, and my background is hospitality, so it wasn't a massive strain as far as, you know, event organising. But what I got out of it was you wore many hats as part of that. So, you know, you needed to be in touch with all the men's teams, you know, the women, all the club team managers. You know, it's about selling tickets, it's about awards, it's buying trophies and medals, vote counting, that's all done on the night. Um, and all the awards are given out. So you really do. For me, it was a massive introduction to the whole club, and um, you know, it was great. It was great in that respect.
Yeah, I think when you volunteer and you step up and offer to help things, you actually meet all the other people at the club.
Yeah,
You know, it can be a bit isolating just, you know, obviously you know the people in your team,
yeah,
but there's a whole heap of other people out there in most clubs that, you know, the men's teams, some of the clubs that are female only will have, you know, teams that play in other divisions, you know, senior teams
yeah,
and, um, you know, Darabin's got a VFLW side. So, you know, it's a way when you volunteer and step up, it's a way of sort of meeting everybody at the club.
yeah. Absolutely, it was. You know, it was huge, and you know, people that I was working with doing that organising, you know, have actually become friends outside of footy.
Yeah,
You know, we still do things together. So yeah, can
absolutely.
highly recommend a volunteer stint at a club. Can highly recommend
um,
it.
yeah. You know, I think there's kind of two people in this world, people that will step up and do things, and then people that will let them.
Yeah, the people who
um,
volunteer other people on their behalf.
yeah, yeah. Um, so what you need at a club, obviously, is you need the people that will drive things,
Yeah,
but then you also need people that can step up and volunteer for a day or an event
yeah,
or to run part, you know, help with part of an event,
yeah,
not necessarily the whole thing, because that can be a bit overwhelming for some
yeah.
people.
You're gonna get too
Um,
many fall over or just say no or yeah. And I
yeah,
think you also need to be able to delegate.
yep, yeah. Certainly, if you try and do everything yourself, you'll not very good do a very good job usually.
Yeah,
Um, Plus, by delegating, you're drawing more people in, giving them a chance to
yeah,
actually contribute to the club as well.
yeah. And at the end of the day, we don't know what sort of skills all our members have unless you know, are having an actual conversation with them. So, you know, we can have chefs, bartenders, we can have, you know, who knows what skills are out there that can be utilised within the club.
Absolutely.
To me, the biggest resource any club has is its members, and they're you know, someone once coined a phrase called it something like your volunteering credit. You know, some people put in 1,000 hours of volunteering credit, other people only might put in an hour, but there is no one is more important or valuable to the club than the other, because 1 hour of helping in the canteen, for instance, if you do it once per footy season, still an hour that someone else doesn't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, you often will see the same people, though,
Yeah, you do.
doing the canteen. But, yeah, sharing around definitely helps prevent that burnout and people leaving the
Yeah,
club because they can't cope anymore.
yeah. I think planning it is also very important, rather than getting halfway through the season and starting to feel your burnout if we're just doing too much. I think it needs to be part of the, your yearly planning within your
Yep.
committee. It's how we are going to approach, volunteering for, sausage sizzles, for instance, particularly
Yeah.
if you're doing 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah. Yep. Footy clubs are fairly expensive things to
Yeah,
run,
yeah.
registration fees only go so far.
Mm,
And, we've got, the fees we have to pay to the league. Then, you got to pay for trainers. You got to pay to use the club facilities. Then you've got the electricity bills and, all the things that go with it. So if we just did our registration fees on what it cost, our registration fees would be sky high. So
yeah,
having fundraising events and getting sponsorship is an important part of keeping, the game affordable
yeah.
for people to do.
And not only that, if you're reasonably successful at it, you can actually give back to your members in terms of, you know, um, free pizza at training one night, or, when you're planning your presentation dinner, it could include, first free drink on arrival, things like that.
Yep. Yep. Getting a training shirt
Getting a
as part of
training
your
shirt,
rego
and
fees.
maybe
Yeah.
be able to reduce, if you're successful enough, you could possibly even reduce your fees for the following year.
Yep. Absolutely. So apart from Footy Flea, have you got other experience working in volunteering?
Yeah, and some of those made me think I'd never volunteer again, Sue, but that's going back to volunteering at kinder and school.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, those are basically all committee, versions of committees, um, and, I mean, I've done some separate volunteering. I volunteered at the very first disability, disability concert gig run by Dylan Alcott,
Uh-huh.
and, they were looking for, basically people. So it was an all abilities concert. So if you were in a wheelchair, any sort of ability, it was totally accessible. They had platforms for people in wheelchairs, so they were sort of slightly higher than the crowd level. And they just needed people there, just going around, making sure everyone was okay. So, I'm a big fan of Dylan Alcott, so I volunteered. That was a massive, massive eye opener. I was probably the oldest person there by about 30 years, and, yeah. But look, it was really good fun, and I'm really, really glad I did it. So, and let me tell
Yeah.
you, there is nothing like watching the Hilltop Hoods on stage with an Auslan person's sign language, a rap song.
Yep.
Look, you'd think it couldn't be done, but it was full on. It was amazing.
Yeah, imagine trying to sign. I'm struggling learning sign language to
Yeah,
help our
well,
our deaf player, and I go from week to week. I'm like, oh God, what did we learn last week?
yeah.
Um, so I can't imagine how fast it have to be to go keep up with rap.
So what about you, Sue?
Um, I've always been one of those suckers that sees things and goes, yeah, all right, I'll do it. Uh, so kids school, kids kinder, fundraising coordinator, president
Coaching
of the parents and
as
friends.
school teams?
Yep. I volunteered for the 2006 Commonwealth Games. So
Oh,
I worked
yeah,
at the G for the opening and closing ceremonies, behind the scenes, making sure that the acts were all getting on stage at the right time and herding people around and holding people in corridors. I got to see the Queen and Prince Philip up close in their car as they drove out, and Delta Goodrem sang, and she is stunningly beautiful
Yeah,
in
she's
person.
gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a very unique experience. And that was kind of, as my kids had grown up, everything had revolved around them. And that was the first thing I sort of did for myself.
Yeah.
And that made me go, okay, the world didn't fall apart. Everybody survived with me doing something for myself. And from that, I went and started doing a few more things for myself.
Yeah.
So
I've done door knocking, just came to mind. I've done door knocking for the Red Shield appeal.
Oh, okay.
When I was actually working with the Salvation Army at the time. So that's interesting.
It would be.
Not everybody's happy to see you at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
No. Gee, why not? So, Flea, why do you think we do it? Why do we stick our hands up and go, yeah, sure? And I just thought of something else that we both do that's volunteer, and that's this podcast.
Yes. Why are we doing it?
We're not getting paid for this. We're doing it because we love being part of the community.
Yeah.
And what do we get out of doing the podcast? Is people coming up to us at games and going, "Oh, listen to your podcast. It was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it." And you go, "Oh." So keep
I
coming up
think
and doing
someone
that.
actually refers to her kids about us as Auntie Sue and Auntie Flea. But just be quiet for a minute. I'm going to listen to Auntie Sue and Auntie Flea.
Yeah.
What do I get out of it? You know what? It makes me feel good. So that might sound selfish, I suppose, in a way. But I mean, if I really hated it, you wouldn't keep doing it. Why would you keep doing something you actually didn't enjoy? So I enjoy it. I like feeling that I've made a difference in someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would tell that to anybody.
Yeah, being a part of a community, I think, is what I enjoy the most out of volunteering, like being an integral part of it, not just on the sidelines, hi bye, but having chats with people and feeling comfortable within the community, the football community, whatever community it might be that you're involved in.
Yeah.
So let's face it, without volunteers, there is no community football.
No. Look, we also, as part of, this National Volunteers Week that happened in May, this weekend we spoke to a few people around the grounds about their volunteers and what they mean to their club.
So here's what they had to say. Okay, so we're here with
Eddie from Northside.
And today we're looking at volunteering, Eddie. So what does volunteering mean at your club?
It means everyone pitching in. So we're not just looking at our committee members that are in our formal positions, but it's literally everyone and anyone around the club.
Great. And there's a sign for the next quarter. So who are the volunteers at your club? Who do you want to put a word out for?
We are very lucky. We have quite a number of volunteers, but I'm going to give out a couple of special shout outs today for those that really kicked in and pitched in today. Megan Flack, or also known as Flacco, has created the biggest, bestest raffle ever and has taken on that today, all on her own. But we've also got some new members to our club, Dell and Terry, that were here at the crack of dawn with me, helping out and pitching in with anything and everything as well.
Great. It takes a fair bit of work to put on a round for women's football, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
So not only have you got the volunteers that help set up, you've also got, your goal umpires and everything that you have to put together. So what's a job that most people don't realise happens?
There's quite a number of those as we wait for the siren, but the biggest one that I think that is a neglected one, or one that people don't realise that just happens, is filling up the dunny roll and making sure there is plenty of that around the place. However, it's, making sure your canteen's all sorted. I'm at the moment, once I'm done with this, going to create the fire so that it's nice and cosy for those coming off the field. So it's anything and everything.
Fantastic. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Hi. I'm here with
Megan Flacco
from
the Northside Lions Women's Super Rules.
Cool. And today we're talking about volunteering. So what's volunteering mean at your club?
Volunteering means everything. It's about community. Sport's all about community and connection. And I think volunteering your time is the way that we gift ourselves back to the things that we love and matter to us. And it takes a village to get a team out on the field. It takes a village to get a club running, and volunteering's all part of that. I love it.
Fantastic. And so what volunteering things happen at a club that people maybe don't notice?
Oh my goodness. Well, someone's here at 7:30 cleaning the dunnies before a game. We have to have a group of players come around and pick up the dog poo off the oval. We make sure that there's someone behind the bar, there's people in the canteen, there's people putting together raffles. There's a whole bunch of people that do things that you don't even see, to actually run a league, run a club. There's administration, there's fundraising, there's all kinds of things. And I think the thing is with volunteering, particularly around a footy club, whatever you can give, there's a space for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so behind you is a beautiful raffle.
This is the best raffle ever known to mankind. You can see this raffle from the moon. It's huge. You want to have a piece of this action? It's fantastic.
I'll buy a ticket in a minute.
You bet. Yes.
And so I guess volunteering is also helping out with some fundraising too, isn't it?
Yeah. So our women's team always runs a raffle when we have a home game. And this time around, the money that we're raising from this raffle is going to go to one of the players, actually from our club, from the men's team, who's battling cancer at the moment. And we feel really strongly about this because he's one of the players that was integral in bringing the women's team to the club. He's been incredibly supportive of us as a group of players for the 7-8 years that we've had women's teams at this club, and he's someone that's very dear to us. So for us, this is all about community and making sure that we can give back. So this is our way of doing that. So our players have really generously donated all kinds of bits and bobs, and we're out here now flogging tickets as much as we can to raise that money.
Great. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you.
Hi, Sue and Flea. Rachel from Brunswick Mudlarks here. Without a doubt, community sport wouldn't exist without loving and hardworking volunteers, and we know this to be true at the Brunswick Mudlarks. Our club's culture's value of inclusivity means that everyone puts their hand up for each other across all parts of the teams. So that means our coach, Peta, is trainer for some of the men's teams. Our runner, Ant, plays for the men and comes to every one of our games to carry coaching messages for the contact team. Our players on the W team also do water running for the men's teams, and we all take shifts on the canteen roster for our home games, both the men's games and the women's. Given that the Mudlarks women's teams are so new, this is the contact team's second season and the non-contact team's first, you can really see and feel all the volunteer labor that goes into building the thriving teams that we have. The Mudlark women's contact and non-contact teams train together, so I'll call out volunteers who work across both. To start with, our coaching team of Peta, Vay, and Kate are all volunteers. Our team manager, Chelsea, also runs our club canteen, and we are ordered, fed, and good to go each round because of her extraordinary work. We have a volunteer trainer, Ian, and his greyhound, Sadie, to support our physical condition as well. Allison volunteers to do our kit and to make sure we have the right size and numbers when we take to the oval. There are too many other names to mention here, but it's really important to say we're deeply grateful for all of our volunteers who keep us playing footy for fun here at the Brunswick Mudlarks.
Hello, fellow podcasters. It's Flea here. I have a couple of VIP volunteers with me today, Matt and Kirsty, very well known to me, very well known to each other in particular. As you know, we have been discussing all things volunteering in Clubland, and Matt and Kirsty have both volunteered for the Eastern Warriors on many occasions, certainly well before, particularly Matt, I was at the club. So I thought I'd get them together and put a couple of questions to them about their volunteering within the club and outside. So, Matt, can you tell me what you think volunteers mean to the club?
The volunteers are the heart and soul of the club, Flea. They keep the place running, keep the place happy and organised, and the actual volunteer community of the club is a community in itself. So yeah, it's just a great part of the club.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Kirsty, who is someone behind the scenes that you can think of that volunteers and that the club couldn't do without, I suppose?
The one that first comes to mind is Renata and Kenny, who are always here and always helping out. The club would struggle to run without them, and they've also, their son also helps and volunteers as well. So yeah, they're one of the first ones that comes to mind.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. Why do volunteers matter in Masters Footy, Matt? Emphasis on the word Masters.
Because we don't have parents that are young enough to come and help us.
Yeah, very good point.
Like any club, Masters or any other club, we don't have paid staff, so yeah, we need the volunteers to get involved and just get this all together.
And I think I think the thing is everybody does a little bit of volunteering. It makes it so much easier for all.
Yeah.
So I think it's great when lots of people take on a role. Might just be for a couple of hours here or there, but
yeah,
that really helps Masters Footy. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Sue and I discussed that, and I firmly believe that the biggest asset any club has is its members, and if every member contributed 1 hour a season, wow, it's I don't know what the trick is to getting that done. I'm sure there are clubs that are, but yeah.
I feel like last year we ran quite a few sausage sizzles at Bunnings,
we did,
and a lot of people were able to get involved on those days just for an hour.
Yeah.
I think most people want to help. Sometimes it's just a matter of asking.
Yeah.
I 100% think that's the clue to a lot of it. It's actually asking people, not waiting for people to come to you. Have you volunteered outside of footy, Matt?
I have. Now that I think about it, I've been on school committees, and when the kids were younger, volunteered with their activities. Boundary umpiring comes to mind.
Did you do a bit of volunteering at Auskick?
I did, yeah. The junior footy more so, yeah.
And I was involved in a kinder committee at one stage, and certainly helped out in the classroom when the kids were younger when I could, going out and doing reading. That was fun. Yeah.
What's one volunteer job that people don't realise gets done? Can you think of one?
I can, yeah.
Good.
I'd say a couple that come to mind. At our club, Grant, who does all our social media and our club communications. A lot of people at the clubs just see the communications coming and they're just magically there, but Grant's behind the scenes putting all that together. And the other thing is all the team managers, getting us organised on the days and printing the team sheets. Once again, players can just turn up and everything runs smoothly, but the team manager can be a little bit behind the scenes as opposed to the coaches and the committee, which is visible to everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, short and sweet. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for volunteering to be part of the podcast.
I'm sure that was a volunteer.
No. Now, Matt, what did you say before? How to get people to volunteer?
Just ask.
And what did I do? I told you.
There wasn't much.
Told you were doing it.
No. Ask or tell.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
I love hearing those responses.
Yeah, it's easy to think of someone who goes above and beyond at your club. So please drop their names and your club in the comments. Good way to recognise. And I actually think recognising your volunteers is also so important.
Oh, it's key.
Yeah.
Definitely.
From the committee,
and
from the president down, it needs to be, it's important.
Absolutely. So, let's recognise them and thank them for all that they do.
Well, Sue, believe it or not, we've hit the halfway point of the season.
That feels like it's flown by.
Yeah, so at this point, it's a great chance to pause for a second and reflect on what the competition is all about.
Friendships, the community, the teamwork, both on and off the field.
And how much the competition keeps growing year after year.
Yeah, the latter only tells part of the story. The real success is what's happening across the community.
Should we talk about non-contact growth to start with?
Absolutely. This year's been phenomenal. We've gone from one team, Eastern Warriors, and, a few other people joining in. Port had a team one year, to 5 teams this year. And potentially Warriors are looking at 2 teams for next season. And it's great to see the other clubs getting on board and realising how much fun it is to play non-contact footy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's quite, I feel like even from last year to this year, there's quite a dramatic leap in non-contact.
Yeah, it's not a small step. It was a giant leap.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Bit of a side, I suppose, step into the, giving the footy rush a go.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on footy rush at this point? So just generally.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I like the fact that the AFL have recognised that Masters are a legitimate comp and that we deserve some money put into our game.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're providing the umpires and all the equipment and that side of the organisation of it. I'm not 100% sure that the rules actually suit us.
Yeah.
But, that's something to work on over the next 5 rounds, 5 more rounds.
Yeah. And, we have been encouraged to provide feedback.
Yep. So definitely make sure you do.
Yes, everybody. So that's, your thoughts are welcome. And Footy Rush, AFL, who are running the Footy Rush comp, do want to hear from people, their thoughts. And that will form, the basis of what happens, I suppose, moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this season also we've had new teams join the competition.
We have.
Which is exciting. And they're doing quite well, both of them, both Sunbury and Carrum Cowgirls.
Yeah.
So good to see that they've integrated themselves into the AFL Masters community.
Yeah.
Lots of new players as well. Like all the teams have got new players have come in. So that is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It is good. And it'll be, be interesting to, I suppose, revisit some of these new teams and players as we get towards the end of the season around finals and see, what their thoughts are at the end.
Yep. It's also meant that, because there's now 12 contact teams, that the league was able to split it into 2.
Yeah, that's right. It's the first year we've had divisions.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that gives more teams the chance to win. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're not coming up against, Port Melbourne and Mordialloc every second,
Yeah.
And you get to play each team twice as well.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting doing that because you really get to see either a massive improvement between playing them the first time and the second. You get, you get to really see how some players develop.
Yeah,
I mean, there's been
you do indeed.
been no injuries, but
yeah, I think there's been quite a few injuries so far. The general chat.
Well, that's true. Yes,
quite a few clubs are complaining that they've had a lot of injuries and that they're sort of struggling a bit.
What do you think that says?
Yeah. I don't know. That we're all old.
Yeah.
You don't bounce as well when you're over 35.
Yeah.
or 40 or 50 or 60. But also maybe the intensity of the game has increased.
I mean, I think listening to, well, not so much listening to, but reading the general chat groups, I think there's definitely been an increase in the intensity of some of the games.
Yeah. I think sometimes people forget that we're masters.
Yeah.
You know, as a player, you actually have a duty of care when you tackle someone to actively try not to hurt them. So, you know, I think some people need to remember their duty of care.
Yeah. Bit of white line fever, maybe.
Yeah. One of the exciting things that I have enjoyed seeing this year is the milestone games.
Yeah.
So women who've only ever played Masters footy hitting 50 games.
That's quite an achievement if you've only ever played Masters.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, you think those people would have never played 50 games of footy if it wasn't for Masters.
Yeah. Can I ask where you are at in that?
Oh, not a clue.
Really?
Because non-contact hasn't been on Play HQ.
Yes.
You know,
This
for the
year,
last
your
few
games,
years.
well, they
Those
haven't played
games
that many
haven't.
this year, but are they counted?
No, they're not.
Okay.
So my games that I've played that have been counted are only when we had a contact team at Eastern Warriors when we were Waverley.
Yeah.
The carnival games, a few seniors games that I've played. So, yeah, if you chucked in the non-contact, I'd be well over 50.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway.
All right. So the other interesting thing that's happened this year for the first time, I believe, yes?
Yep.
Is the intra-league game, is the intra-league cup. What's it technically called, sir?
What is it? The AFL Vic Metro Masters Cup.
Yeah.
So
which is between?
Northwest and Southeast. And I've actually got a little bit later on, we'll have a chat about what's happening there too. And we'll also have a little chat about what's happening with Carnival because training has started.
Yes. So we've had one, another one coming up?
Yeah. On what day is it? Monday.
Monday, the King's birthday weekend, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of talk about that done.
Yeah. I'll talk about that again as well. All right.
Okay.
Let's go round the grounds for round 5. So before we start our wrap-up, we'd like to acknowledge that many clubs participated in the Wear Red round this weekend. So clubs wore 2 red armbands, one to honour women killed by gender-based violence and the other for accountability, a commitment to action, a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating safer, more respectful environments. So first up for round 5, we had our non-contact footy rush games. This week, everyone trekked north, and footy rush was played at Crispy Park and Reservoir. As usual, the sun came out for our non-contact games.
Of course.
Some tweaking of the rules again after everyone sent in their responses to the AFL Vic questionnaire that went out between this round and the last. So game 1, we had Parkside Spurs 7 goals 7-44, played Carrum Cowgirls 8 goals 11-59, a nice close game. And then game 2, Eastern Warriors 2-5-17, played Williamstown 5-7-37.
Then we move on to Division 1, which was held at Crispy Park. So game 1 was Williamstown 4-5-29, drew with Parkside Spurs 4-5-29. So apparently nothing could split these two teams. So for the second week in a row, we have a draw. So initially it looked like Williamstown had the game under control in the first quarter, but Spurs fought back into the game, and at the final siren, scores were level. However, unfortunately, the scoreboard was incorrect, with Spurs thinking they were up by 2 points in the dying moments. Therefore, the decision was made to rush it behind for Williamstown. Spurs then thought they had won by a point when the siren went, whereas the goal umpires at the end of the game actually had the result as a draw. Very confusing way to end a great game of footy. Williamstown goals, Kate Splatt 3 and Rebecca Davis 1. Spurs goals, 2 apiece to Mel Fennick and PP for private player.
Good old private player. I think they're the best in most games.
Yeah, I know, they have been.
Game 2 was played at AH Cat Reserve. Box Hill North, unfortunately no score. We're defeated by Maudie Alec, 8 goals, 16-64. Box Hill North best, Jodie Green, Natalie Horwood, Mish Krupi, Stacey Perrell and Belinda Lyle. Maudie Alec goal kickers were Jill Chalmers, Lisa Marie Williams, Pip Swan. I really like that name, Pip Swan. All kicked 1 goal. Trudy Miller had 2 and Michaela Cox with 3. A hard day at the footy for Box Hill North, coming up against the ladder leaders Maudie Alec, who have yet to be defeated. As always, Box Hill North gave it a red-hot crack with their defence working hard, but they were unable to hit the scoreboard.
So at Crispy Park, Game 3 was Port Melbourne 5-3-33, defeated Carrum Cowgirls 1-1-7. Port Melbourne goals were Lisa Walsh with 2, Susie Karatz with 2 and Joanna Clapper with 1. Port Melbourne defence made it difficult for Carrum to get on the scoreboard this week. I think we have all seen how disciplined and tough that defence can be.
Absolutely, they can be very hard to get past.
Yeah.
And when they get it in their forward line, they get that press right up and try and keep it in there. So then we go on to Division 2. So Game 1, Brunswick Mudlarks won after Wyndham had to forfeit after suffering several injuries and been unable to get a team together for the game.
Okay.
Hopefully a few extra weeks off will give their players time to get back on the field. Mudlarks were very disappointed as they had a big celebration for their playing coach reaching her 100-game milestone. On the plus side, Warriors look forward to now hosting that in round 6.
Yay, we'll make her feel special.
Mudlarks' non-contact team had a bye, so they invited the Eastern Warriors to come and have a second game. Losing my headphones. Oh, I can hear again now. This game now became the game of the day at Ransford Park. Muddies gave us a match report, so I'm going to read that out because it's fun. So Saturday the 30th was a perfect day for footy, partly sunny and mild with minimal wind. Brunswick Mudlarks non-contact was very fortunate to host Eastern Warriors at our grounds, Ransford Oval, for an exhibition match to showcase the fun and skill of the game. Led by special guest coach Bron McCorlick, the Mudlark side consisted of our core non-contact team plus eager joiners from our contact team. Eastern Warriors truly proved themselves warriors by backing up a second game after their earlier match, with 5 stalwarts and 1 newbie being joined by other Mudlarks who were honoured to don the colours, the black and the yellow. We announced, as in Mudlarks, announced that the Mudlarks non-contact team will have permanent co-captains for the rest of the season, Naomi Payne and Asha Everts. They embody the spirit of non-contact and our team values of joy, empowerment and respect. This match also featured 2 new players, Esther and her sister Vay, our assistant coach, and our team manager Chelsea, both of whom have demonstrated that they will be valuable teammates in future games. We also welcome back 2 players from injury, Steffi and Danielle. Fun fact, this match saw goals scored in the family with Esther Vay and Vay's wife and our contact co-captain Kira all putting goals on the board. The full match showed the very best of what non-contact is, fun and skillful, and we finished the game starting our celebrations of our team coach Peter Price's 100th game milestone with a very special cake. If you know, you know. Just ask Peter when you see her.
Do you know?
Yeah, I do know because they had a picture on it Peter has a very special game face that she pulls that she didn't realise she pulled until it's in 500 photos. And she sticks her tongue out. It's pretty funny. Ask her when you see her.
Oh, well. Okay. Well, that sounded like a whole lot of fun. I'm sorry I missed that, being away again.
It was fun.
Yeah, and actually the Warriors chat, I noticed the women have all commented the same, how much they enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. At A8 Cap, Game 2 was Darebin Falcons 139, were defeated by Peninsula 4-13-37. Darebin's best were Amy Carroll and Anna McWilliams. Peninsula's best, Emma Ince, Beth Storr, Heidi Robinson, Briley Snell, Jade Summers. Goals, Erin Farnbach with 1 and Renee Dunn with 3. Lots of scoring attempts by the Raiders, and the score could have been a whole lot higher if some of those points were goals. A tough season so far for Darebin, but to their absolute credit, they keep on fronting up and giving their all each game. 100% can believe that is what Darebin would do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the final game of the round, Chris held at Crispy Park in the Battle of the Lions. Northside Lions 4-5-29, which happens to be the score of the round because that's what the draw scores were too. Anyway, sidetracked there. Defeated Sunbury Lions 2-2-14. Northside best Maureen Napoli, Celeste Higney, Rosie Busuttil, Jess Duncan and Heather Jenkins. Goals, Rosie Busuttil with 3 and Sylvia Lachey with 1. Sunbury best, Yolanda Jones, Maria Camilleri, Lisa Vandenherk, Kim Cook and Jill Shields. Goals to Lisa Vandenherk and Kirsty Baker. So Northside got to sing the song for what they think may be the very first time at Crispy Park. Very exciting for them. Also a sign that splitting the competition into 2 sections is working for them, giving them more chances to play against skilled teams. But Sunbury didn't make it a complete breeze for them though, putting up a good fight.
All right, so seeing as we're at the halfway point of the season, let's look at how the ladders stand. So currently Div 1, top of the ladder, no surprise as they're undefeated, is Mordy Alec on 20 points from 5 wins. Second is Port Melbourne on 16 points from 4 wins. Third is Williamstown, 10 points, 2 wins and a draw. Fourth is Carrum, 8 points from 2 wins. Fifth is Parkside Spurs, 6 points from 1 win and a draw. And Box Hill North are 6th with no points at this stage.
And then Division 2, we have Brunswick at the top of the ladder, 20 points with 5 wins, so also undefeated in Div 2. Wyndham at number 2 with 14 points, 3 wins and a draw. Peninsula in position 3 with 12 points from 3 wins. In 4th, we have Northside, 10 points with 2 wins and a draw. And 5th is Sunbury with 1 win, which gives them 4 points. And Darebin are at 6th, yet to score a win. And now, for one of our favourite segments, Milestone Moments.
So this time, congratulations goes to Nat Horde from Box Hill North on playing 50 games. The club have sent in a little spiel, so I'll read that out. Nat has brought determination, team spirit, toughness and plenty of laughs to the club. Whether it's leading by example on the field or being a valued friend off it, Nat has made a lasting impact on everyone around her. Reaching 50 games is a tremendous achievement and a testament to her commitment and passion for footy and her club. The whole club is proud to see all that she has contributed and achieved, and so are we, from me and Sue.
Yeah. Let's have a closer look at Northside as our club of the round. So Northside, as their name would suggest, are located in Melbourne's northern suburbs. Their home ground is Crispy Park and Reservoir. Is it the best ground in Vic Metro? No. but it would be hard to find a more welcoming club. The club currently has a petition out to get their rooms upgraded, and boy, do they need it. The away rooms, the urinals are interesting, let me just say. So we'll pop the link in the description and on our social pages for that petition. So please sign it if you haven't already. So the club's got several teams. They've got the women's 35s, men's 35s A and B teams, men's over 50s and men's over 55s.
We heard from a couple of club members earlier in the podcast talking about volunteering. But at this point, we'd also like to talk about Christina Edwards and the great job she does volunteering. Currently, she is the club secretary, the chair of the Vic Metro Women's Subcommittee, and this year she's also hitting the coaching scene with a role at coaching the over 35 team. We need more players, so please get on board. And also assistant coach for the Northwest Intra-League women's team. So good on you, Eddie. Proud of you. 2026 is looking like a good year for the Lions, with Rosie Busittle coming back to the club after gaining valuable experience playing for Port Melbourne Colts and strengthening the side, taking on the captain's role. Currently, the team is sitting fourth on the Division 2 ladder after several years of winning the wooden spoon. Well done them. We wish them all the best for the second half of the season and hope to see them playing finals.
We do indeed. So, looking forward to round 6. Footy Rush. We have our games at Eastern Warriors Home Ground, Edinburgh Reserve in Springvale. Arrive 8:30ish, 8:45 group warm-up with a 9 o'clock game time start. And our games are Eastern Warriors versus Brunswick Mudlarks, Parkside Spurs versus Williamstown, and Carrum have the bye.
In Division 1, Carrum Cowgirls versus Box Hill North at 10:15 a.m. This is at Roy Door Reserve in Carrum. Williamstown v Port Melbourne at 10:15 at Edinburgh Reserve, and Mordialloc versus Parkside Spurs 12:15 at Roy Door Reserve.
And then Division 2, Northside versus Brunswick at 12:15 at Edinburgh Reserve. Sunbury versus Peninsula at 2:15 at Roy Door Reserve. And Darebin versus Wyndham at 2:15, again at Edinburgh Reserve.
So don't forget, we also have the intra-league game coming up as well that we mentioned earlier in this podcast, which is Northwest versus...
Northwest.
Sorry, Northwest versus Southeast?
Yep.
Right. Which is on Sunday, the 12th of July. The women's game is at 12:30 at Toorak Park. It will be a fantastic game to watch, so please put it in your diary. And, get along just to have a look and support the women. The women's team is coached by AB, who so many of us know, and I think she would love to see as many of us turning up there in support. Do you reckon, Sue?
Yeah. So, that's the Southeast. We've got AB and Blouse coaching.
Yes, as well.
AB and Blouse. AB's the head coach.
Yeah. Blouse is her assistant.
Yep. And then Northwest, Chia Sabatucci from Williamstown is the head coach there, and Christina Edwards, or Eddie, is her assistant.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the detail there.
That's all right. So I have had the chance to observe the Southeast team at training. And one of the most interesting things I got out of it was that women from different teams coming together and getting to know each other, which then translates to on Saturday, where people who previously didn't know each other are now talking to each other. So it further enhances that feeling of being part of a footy community.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another way to be further involved in our great footy community, and that is to come and play for the Big V Carnival in Newcastle. Can't stress highly enough how much fun that is for everybody, no matter your level of confidence, skill, it absolutely does not matter for carnival. The next training session for this is on the Monday public holiday, which must be next Monday.
Yep.
That's at Croft Reserve in Altona North, hosted by Williamstown. So please come along and meet the coaches, Sue being one of them, and see what it's all about. We need more players for the 35s and 40s teams, and it's possible we could get a second Masters Nines team. So that's the non-contact. Something for everyone, basically.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to jump in and have a go. Nobody will judge you.
No.
In fact, we think you're all wonderful. So, so that's a wrap on this week's episode.
And a huge thank you again to all the volunteers across Masters Footy.
So don't forget to send us your match reports.
Your milestone players. Grab us to interview them if you see us at your ground. It literally takes a few minutes, and we love to include them in our podcast.
We do indeed. And we'd also love to hear about the volunteers at your club.
Because, as I said before, we should be celebrating the people who make this community what it is.
So until next time,
look after your body.
Enjoy your footy. And footy for fun.
And
we're just getting started. One day that will all come together and we won't know what to do.
I don't think it will.